So here I am, a student, and this is your dashboard. It's called the stream. It's kind of like your inbox in Google, right? It's your mailbox. It shows you all of the things that come in the order that they're given to you. So here it's okay, right? Because we've only got about 4 or 5 things. But when I start adding more things, it's going to get quite difficult to find something. For example, the Zoom meeting link will be at the very bottom, right? So this is not the best place to look for material. Here it's a good place to see what your homework is. And when you click on this, it will show you everything that's due. Some things have no due date, like this one, it's just your progress sheet. You will be using this document throughout the entire course. This week we've got nothing. Next week we've got the letter from the future and the complete test, and then later would be the following week. So sometimes you'll see them mostly in next week and later, right? Here are the missing ones that you missed the deadline for. Some things you can hand in late. I'm going to be very strict about deadlines because I know that if I don't, you won't do your writing work. So, if you're a few hours late, it's okay, right? I'm also going to allow what we call extenuating circumstances, which means if you have some kind of problem like an illness or something that is a force majeure, just tell me and I will extend your deadlines, no problem, right? But in normal circumstances, you need to meet the deadlines because, you need to be consistent. The best way to become a good writer is to write and be okay with doing things and sending them even though you feel that you could do better, because the feedback is the most important part. So keep sending them in, even if they're not perfect. Be a perfectionist about your time, not your work, right? Your work is good enough to send in when the deadline is there. You need to make a habit of sending work to me every 2 weeks, right? And then you'll also see the past work as well that you have finished. Now, also there's another function here called calendar. You can also see things in a calendar view if that's something you like. If you have Google Calendar, it will also automatically sync with your calendar so you can see it there. It's quite useful. So then, like I said, when you have a lot of tasks here, it will become quite messy, right? There's a lot of things and it will be hard to find. So this is where you need to use the Classwork tab. The Classwork tab is very useful because I categorize things. So right now we only have 2 categories, but there will be maybe 6 or 7 different categories for writing, for speaking, for language development, different sub-skills for writing. We will have, for example, genre, cohesion and coherence, things like this. We will have different categories. So everything will be organized for you here. And if it's gray, it's not homework, it's a material. If it's orange, if there's color here, this is an assignment and it has a due date, right? You can see it's due. When you click on the assignment here you can add or create files for your classwork, right? And that's when you send it in to me. When you mark it as done, you hand it in to me, and then I will see that it's finished. You must mark it as done or else I will not know that it's time to mark it, because I don't see your work until you tell me that it's done, right? So always mark it as done. Now, here you can create a Google document or you can upload a file from your computer. If you do it on a Word document, you can attach it, or if you use Google products, you can just do it on the Google document itself or from your Google Drive. It doesn't matter how you do it, I don't care. If you want to take the paper-based test, you can use photos of your writing. You can just take pictures and upload them here. That's okay. If you like to type, you can do that. We will talk about the difference between the computer-based and paper-based test in a moment, but that's basically it. So the deadline's here, right? And like I said, if you're a little bit late, right, like the next morning, no big problem, right? Usually what I do is I wait for everyone to hand it in, but I want all of you to be following the deadline strictly, because if you're not going to be motivated to do your work. So make sure that you submit it on time. And that's the classroom.